All right, good evening, everyone. I'm gonna take my mask off when I talk. We are doing a virtual meeting. We do have people here at the service center, but we are social distancing as far as the chairs, and we are social distancing as far as the people that are up here at the tables, and our board itself is here by virtual as well. So, but this is technically a virtual meeting. So, and I'm vaccinated, so I am going to take my mask down when I'm speaking. When I'm not, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to call to order the meeting of the January 24th library board meeting. Angie, can we have a call to roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Bixby.
Present.
Dr. Mercado.
Present.
Dr. Robinson.
TD?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear Angie.
Are you able to hear us, TD?
I'm not able to hear Angie, but I'm present. I wasn't able to hear anyone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can't hear Angie.
Okay. All right. Here, present.
And Ms. Tribble.
Hope?
Present. Yeah, I can't hear Angie either.
All right, we do have a quorum. We're going to move on to our first item, which is the public comment and communications. At every board meeting, we open up with a time for public comment. We welcome feedback from the public about our Indianapolis libraries. And at this time, when the public may address the library board, if there are several of you representing the same group, please select a spokesperson. Please do not repeat the same comments someone else has offered. Please note also that this is a public comment time, is not the appropriate forum for commenting on matters related to alleged employee misconduct. Any such matters should be brought promptly to the attention of the library interim CEO or the HR department, where matters can be promptly addressed and in compliance with the established library policies and procedures. A 5-minute time limit will be allowed for each speaker, and each speaker should give their name and address. I do not have the list, though. Is there a list of those that are speaking here?
Do we have the public comment list? Mike, is there anyone signed up?
How about online?
We're not offering public comment online. It's
Okay, I just want to double check. All right, it's my understanding no one signed up. Angie, do we have any letters?
No, sir.
All right, well, we're going to move on then to item 4, approval of the minutes of the executive regular and special meeting. This will be the December 13th, 2021. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held December 13th, 2021?
So
So
moved.
moved.
All right, it's been a motion and seconded.
Second.
We have a second. Thank you, Dr. Matata. Angie, can we have a call to roll, please?
Mr. Biederman. No, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
he's not here
Yes,
tonight.
you're right. Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Mercado,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Motion carries. We'll move on to the committee reports. We have 2 of the committee members that are not here. So I'm going to ask Ms. Adams, Interim CEO, if she can come in and provide the report for us.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First item on our agenda is the treasurer's report.
Can you tell us what page that's on?
Page 19 is the page I'll be reviewing with you.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that revenues came in 4% higher than budgeted this year at the end of the year. This is our December 31st year-end financial report. The budget item that came in higher is primarily our property taxes, which came in $1.2 million more than we anticipated. And some of that does include delinquent taxes that were paid. The next item is our expenditures. They actually came in 16% less than budgeted. This was attributed primarily with the categories of health insurance, which didn't increase as much as we budgeted. And we did not spend as much on programming, conferences, or supplies as a result of the pandemic reducing some of these activities. We also did not spend as much on as budgeted in our utility accounts and other facility-related line items. Our capital outlay includes a category books and material budget for our collection. And this shows a savings of $475,784. Then this was due to book purchases being reimbursed from the Eagle bond issue. So there was remaining money left over from the 2017 Eagle bond issue. And we decided to use that money to purchase books and materials from 2021. The remaining board report for the treasurer's report are on pages 20 through 37. Are there any, and we have our graphs on page 20 showing we're pretty much in line with previous years. Those are our actual revenues and expenses compared to previous years. Are there any questions from the board regarding our treasurer's report?
Other than the 4%, any other surprises or things that you weren't expecting?
No surprises showed up at the end of the year.
Does the board have any comments or questions?
No, just happy that our revenues came in higher than budgeted. And very glad that our expenditures were 16% less. That's good. Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other board members have questions or comments? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. Angie, can we have a call to roll, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
and Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank
Approved.
you.
Resolution 1. Ms. Adams?
Okay. The next action request is approval on an required annual resolution requesting board approval on the fines and fees that were waived on patrons' past due accounts during the calendar year 2021. We're requesting approval of the resolution 1-2022. And the fees are mostly waived due to lost books or waivers. These are items that are waived also due to issues relating to health, theft, and bankruptcy of patrons. It's slightly higher this year. Last year's amount was $48,046. This year it's $68,846. I believe because of the shutdown in 2020, we're seeing increased activity in 2021. Are there any questions about this resolution?
Are the same zip codes that were affected with information data that we got in the past, would they also be affected with this, with these numbers?
I can look into the zip code. We no longer collect fines on late fees. So it's quite possible that it is not the same zip codes. And those zip codes are not getting charged for late fees anymore, late fines.
Does the board have any other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve resolution 1?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the matter? Hearing none, Angie, can we have a call to roll, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
and Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Motion carries. We'll move on to resolution 2. Ms. Adams?
Thank you. Resolution 2 is also a required annual resolution requesting the board to approve the list of encumbrances. Let me interrupt by saying this is on page 40. This requesting the list of encumbrances that were applied to the 2021 budget that are going to be rolled forward into 2022. The list of the encumbrances are on pages 42 through page 47. These are purchases and commitments in 2021 that will not get paid until 2022. We're applying them to the 2021 budget and rolling them forward so that we do not have to use 2022 budget funds for items that were ordered in 2021. We did have a finance committee meeting, and they reviewed the list. On page 47, it lists the operating fund open purchase orders that are requested to be rolled forward of $2,901,031.02. On page 48, our rainy day fund purchase orders of $64,843.50 that we're requesting board approval to roll forward. Are there any questions?
No, Ms. Adams, just a quick one. This means, of course, you noted earlier, there's no financial impact, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other board questions or comments? Seeing none, Angie, can we have a call the roll? I'm sorry, is there a motion to approve resolution 2?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on resolution 2? Hearing none, Angie, can we have a call the roll, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Machada,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
and Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Motion carried. We'll move on to resolution 3. Ms. Adams?
Thank you. Resolutions 3 is the last agenda item for the Finance Committee meeting. And it is referring to, we're requesting board approval for a statutory requirement to have an annual meeting reviewed by a local board of finance to review our investment report and policies. The library annually elects the Marion County Board of Finance as the oversight board to review the investment of public funds and to make sure funds are properly invested in acceptable investments. Other municipal governments are part of this meeting. And the meeting is scheduled this Friday, January 28th, virtually at 1:30. So we're requesting again that the board approve the Marion County Board of Finance to serve as the local Board of Finance to review our investments. Are there any questions?
This is the policy that we've followed in the past, correct?
Yes, this is the same policy. As a matter of fact, in the coming year, we will be reviewing our investment policy and making updates to it.
Great.
Any additional questions of Ms. Adams? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve resolution 3?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on the matter? Seeing none, Angie, can we have a call the roll, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Machada,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the Diversity Policy and Human Resource Committee. Hope?
Thank you, Mr. President. There are two major items that the Diversity Policy and Human Resources Committee has been focused on. First is the continued oversight of the climate improvement study. And the second is the CEO search. and most specifically, the recommendation of a firm to lead that search. I'll update you on the first and then ask our interim HR director, Tisha Galarse, to present on the second. The ICE Miller Racial Equity Solutions Group continues to run the climate study process. It's a thorough process that has involved document and process reviews, an all-employee survey, focus groups, and interviews, which are currently underway. I'm continuing to be encouraged and grateful for the level of engagement from library employees. The all-employee survey participation was nearly 80%. And there has also been a large number, nearly 50 people who have requested to participate in focus groups or in or interviews. These early indicators say that our team cares and is taking advantage of this process as a way to be a part of positive change. As we look to the rollout, once we have a date, the plan is for the committee to receive the report at a special meeting of the HR committee. As is the case with all of our committee meetings, this will be a public meeting, but I would like to ask that all board members plan to attend this meeting. We will make sure to give board members as well as the GO team, which is our cross-functional group of employees who have helped us in this journey, and the entire employee population enough heads up to be in attendance. The ICE Miller Racial Equity Solutions Group will present its findings at the committee meeting. And then we'll have some time to process the information that's presented prior to a board meeting. Implementation will be the next big and long-term step after the climate study report is received. The Racial Equity Solutions team has pledged to continue to support us as we digest the information and make those recommendations actionable. That's my report on the climate improvement study. And Ms. Galarse, would you talk to us about the CEO search firm process?
I do. So the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library Diversity Policy and Human Resources Committee recommends the board approval for the attached action resolution 4-2022 to award the service contract for executive service search for the CEO for the library to Bradbury Miller Associate. The total cost will be $27,000. The reason why we select Bradbury is the search committee decided that this was one of the best firms. Bradbury Miller is an executive search firm focused exclusively on the library throughout the country. The firm is based in Ohio and is a women-owned business enterprise. Bradbury Miller has conducted over 200 executive searches just for libraries. The search committee rated Bradbury Miller the highest based on the criteria needed for this search and listed on the RFQ. The criteria included business reputation, delivery capacities, previous experience, including library diversity efforts, and overall RFQ. During the interview, Bradbury Miller provided examples of their diversity efforts and addressed their executive knowledge and understandings of the overall library market, both locally and nationally. Bradbury Miller was also the vendor that best understood the process of working with libraries board and engaging others in the library, like stakeholders. The firm's process is also included on the board action report. Bradbury Miller has extensive experience and connections with library associations, including minority library association or branches of libraries associations. In addition to having the most knowledge and experience with libraries executive searches and working with a library organization, Bradbury Miller fee proposal was $27,000, which was the lowest of all the four proposals that we received. The HR committee considered the recommendation and qualifications presented and recommended the library board approval for the attached action resolution 4-2022 to award the service contract for the executive search services for the CEO to Bradbury Miller's Associates. Any questions?
Does the board have any questions? And hope it's my understanding it came out of the committee. Everyone voted in favor of it, correct?
That is correct.
Yes, it was unanimous.
Does the board have any questions with respect to resolution 4? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve resolution 4?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion or questions on resolution 4?
No questions. Just want to commend Hope and Tisha for the kind of work and careful selection of this firm. The Bradbury Miller Group shows that they've had extensive experience, and that's to be commended for this important, very critical search.
Thank you.
I concur. No other comments or questions? Angie, can we have a call roll on resolution 4, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approved.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
and Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That concludes our,
Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, that concludes the report of the committee.
We'll move on to item 7, Facilities Committee. Curtis, anything from your committee, sir?
Thanks, Mr. President. The Facilities Committee met on January the 11th. Now, we didn't have any board action items. It's in your packet, I believe, on page 104 and 105. We were able to meet the new facilities director, Mr. Adam Parsons, and we want to welcome him aboard and thank Mr. Coughlin for everything that he's done in that interim phase as we had got a new director for facilities. And we also did an update on the transition of the contract security, in-house security. We're going to have further discussion as it relates to the next portion of it, but at least I believe it's going to be a board action item coming up here in the next month to carry on with G4S potentially until the end of the year as the library continues to look in that direction of having in-house security. We also talked about the new security incident database they've been working on to try to facilitate a nice reporting system. I know Garrett and I believe Dana worked on that extensively, and there's a few tweaks that they want to have, and they'll send it out to the board for further review as well. But that's all for the Facilities Committee, Mr. President. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Library Foundation update. Reverend Robinson.
Thank you, President Salinas. Every month, the Library Foundation provides an update to the library board. The Library Foundation is pleased to report the 2021 staff campaign raised $22,913.70 from 134 donors, which represents a 4.5 increase in dollars and 34% increase in donors from 2020. Thank you so much for your support, to all the staff for your hard work and support. Foundation would also like to thank several library staff members who presented at the Foundation Board of Directors January in-service meeting. They each shared presentations highlighting their work in top Foundation funded programs. The list of people are Mike Williams, Manager of Communions and Advocacy, Beth Van Allen, Managing Editor, Encyclopedias of Indianapolis, Melissa Wooten, Area Resource Manager, Adult Services, Sheil Wittenbrock, Herbert Foundation Early Literacy Specialist. Kirsten Weaver, Teen Programming Specialist. Claudia Motese Salias, Immigrants and Refugee Program Specialist. Mackenzie Supervisor, Digital Inclusion, and Elijah Yard, Technology Learning Specialist. It was a joy to learn more about the impact we're making. One staff member shared how the library's book club at the IPS Impact Academy at the Resource Treatment Center is helping youth grow as readers, build positive relationships, and provide emotional healing. Thanks to our generous donors, teens get to keep a copy of each book they read. After they're done reading, they often share their copies with others in their unit. One young man sends his book home for his brothers to read so that later they can discuss the books together. Participating in the book club also sponsors the teens' literary sessions. It can take a long time for therapists to work up to certain topics. However, they find that teens who participate in the book club are more likely to bring up these topics on their own and sooner than they might otherwise be ready to discuss them. It is heartwarming to hear and share concrete examples of how the library and the foundation are working together to encourage young people. The foundation thanks 324 donors who made gifts last month. Following our top corporate and foundation donors. If you have an opportunity to thank these donors, it would be appreciative if you could express how grateful we are. Heirs Foundation, Citizens Energy Group, Holman and Company Foundation, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, McAllister's Machinery, Pacers Foundation, R.B. Anus Educational Foundation, Rich Charles, Schweitzer Foundation. This month, the Library Foundation is proud to provide more than $200,000 to the library. Examples of major initiatives supported include 2022 Meet the Artists 34 Black Lives Matter, bilingual financial literacy workshops, family authors visits, nonprofit workshop, CBLC Women's History Month, NDC Library, Teen Community Book Club, preschool package programs, and reading ready time. President Selena, that ends my report for the Library Foundation.
Thank you, Reverend. Any questions from Reverend Robinson on the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to our interim CEO report. John?
Thank you, Judge Salinas. Before I start the report in earnest, I do want to share something that was shared with me just right before the meeting started by Yana McGraw, our social worker at Central. She's been receiving correspondence from all over the country. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. In response to the media attention that she received recently from NPR. So we've got letters from California, and this one is from Georgia, you said, Yana, is that right? Yeah. Literally thanking Yana for the work that she's doing and the help that she's providing. So that's a nice piece of recognition. I just want to say thanks to Yana for sharing that.
Thank you. Good job.
So, okay, moving on to the report itself. First, we have the travel resolution, personnel travel resolution. That begins on page 89 of your packet. This is the standard report that you see every month about the comings and goings into the organization, internal changes in the organization, and trainings / travel that we are sending folks to. And of course, we're still not sending very many people very many places, but we are sending folks to a lot of virtual trainings. As you can see on page 92, it's this month, it's mostly racial equity training that we're approving. So
actually, I have it on page 78 for mine.
Oh, I'm sorry, page 92 of the PDF. It might be different in the I don't know. Mine shows
Either way.
I apologize. So that's the travel resolution. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have any questions on resolution 4 or 5? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve Resolution 5?
So moved.
So
Is there a second? Curtis, can we second?
second.
All right. Any further discussion or comments on Resolution 5 from board members? Hearing none. Angie, can we have a call to roll, please?
Mr. Bixby,
Approve.
Dr. Matada,
Approved.
Reverend Robinson,
Approved.
Judge Salinas,
Approved.
and Ms. Tribble.
Approved.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to the Interim CEO Road Map, which is the same document that you've seen for the last few months with, as usual, some updates in red. And like with previous updates, I won't go through all of these, in super great detail, but I'm happy to answer questions about any of them. A few I will point out just to draw your attention to. We did have our 4th all-staff town hall in December, on December 17th. That was a good constructive experience as usual. I do want to thank Michael and the union, Michael Torres, for being present in the town hall and being available to respond to questions, as well as other EC members. I think staff really appreciated that. So thank you to those folks. So the bulk of the updates I want to draw your attention to this month are in the HR section. And that begins on page 96 of your packet, down at the bottom of page 96. So just a couple of updates there. We've received a final review for our contract for our what we've been calling a whistleblower or an ombudsperson pathway for staff to avail themselves of. One of the things that we heard over the last few months was that staff didn't always feel comfortable giving certain feedback to managers or staff. So they wanted a third way to take that. So we've been working on that service. So we are very close to finalizing this arrangement. Like I said, we're negotiating the contract. What this will be is essentially a hotline that staff can call that's completely outside of our organization, where that feedback gets anonymized and transcribed and sent back to the library for action. Let's see, other updates here. Interview panel guidelines. One of the things we heard loud and clear was that we as an organization need some formal procedures on how to interview and who should be on panels and how those things should be constructed. So I'm happy to report that Tisha and her team have begun talking about those and are going to be formalizing those pretty soon. And then finally, just the last couple of updates. Training and mentorship are two big areas that we also heard over the last few months that people wanted to see improved. So I'm happy to say we have a brand new manager of organizational learning and development, Kim Brown Harden, who I think is in the audience somewhere, if I saw correctly. Kim was most recently the area manager for the West region, and before that, she was the branch manager at East 38th Street. So she's going to bring some very good expertise to that role. We also have a new tech trainer, Greg Bolden, who comes out of the IT department, who's going to be bolstering that department as well. And then mentorship, I want to shout out Greg Hill and the public services team for identifying a product that's going to assist us in matching the mentor and mentees in the organization. And they've also been working on what we're calling a career development program that staff can sign up for if they need help kind of guiding their careers and they want to access the expertise of some other folks in our organization. So that was a lot of detail really quickly. I will stop my monologue for a second, and I'm happy to answer any questions from board members.
Any
You
questions?
had noted that Kim Brown Harden will be the new person responsible with professional development. What kinds of professional development are the staff asking for at this time?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. And they ask for quite a lot. We have a very information hungry staff. I don't have a ton of bullet point detail at my disposal here, but I can ask Kim to write something up about what she's been hearing from staff, and I'm happy to provide that to you.
That would be great. Thank you. And I want to give a wonderful round of applause to the social worker who has gained national recognition and beautiful cards as well. Yana, congratulations and thank you for your leadership. The work that you're doing for bringing together community resources makes all the difference for our community, for the patrons, and for the individuals who need additional support. We want to make sure that we give you as much leeway to be able to do what you need to do in order to provide those supports. Thank you again.
Any other questions I can field?
Hey, John, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Sure.
I would like, I know, we're all trying to get our feet up underneath us, but in the past is, part of what we as a board have been able to do is to use our network and the scope of people that we might know for different positions and things at the church, the things at the library. It seems like we're not that we need to know everything, but we're not privy. Things are seeming to be, underway, and we're kind of hearing about it after it's, something is going on. I think we have a wide, the beauty of this board is that we have a wide range of people that we know who could maybe fill some of the positions and could be a great resource to you guys and to our HR director if we knew a little ahead of time where you guys are going, and just if there's anybody that we might know or who we feel that could help make our library what it be like. So it's just a comment.
Sure, absolutely. That's very good feedback. Tisha and I will talk about ways to loop you into those processes in a more intentional way.
Yeah, and really for the full board, just not myself, but for the full board, so that we all can help in that regard.
In a related way, it'd be great to hear more from Yana in regards to the kind of support needed for the people who are being served and through homelessness, through substance abuse. I know that your plate is very full, and perhaps we can find ways of offering additional support. Thank you, TD. That's a great point.
I'd be happy to provide that. Any other questions? Okay, well then we will move right down the list. We have a few different staff presentations tonight on some exciting initiatives that we've been carrying out at the library. The first presentation is going to come from Cordia Watkins, who's our manager of circulation services, and also happens to be one of the driving forces behind Meet the Artist and Fall Fest, but that's not what she's here to talk about. I just thought I'd plug it. She's here to talk about our effort to issue library cards to all IPS students. So thank you, Cordia.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Thank you all for having me here today. I am so excited. I've been doing this thing since like 2013. This initiative came, you can go on to the next thing. This initiative came from President Obama when he was in the office, and he wanted to connect libraries with schools. And so we started this initiative. And so it's a partnership between schools and local libraries, opportunity to assist teachers, students, parents for lifelong learning. That is our whole purpose. So at this point, we have actually done all of the schools. Go to the next one for me. We've done all of the schools. And so we are now happy to report that the Indianapolis Public Schools, one of the biggest districts, we have completed. Grades 1 through 12, 58 schools, 18,000 packages were sent out the other day, 12,000 new students. So we are excited. That was about 65% of students who never had a library card. So we are excited about this partnership. We will be working with all of the schools to try to get them trained. We want to train their media specialists so they can train their teachers. So that is what we want to do. The students can use their library card immediately for any online material. They can do that today. And then the students that receive new cards can also go into any public library and borrow 3 items, and the parent can upgrade their card. So we are really excited. I've been on the phone with IPS all week. We're going to plan a really big old media day, and we'll have the TV and the radios, and hopefully our CEO will be there with us. And we'll just like that, we want to take some pictures. So the kids are excited. I've had all kind of teachers saying, I want my students to do it. So we're excited about this partnership. Any questions about IPS? This took place, I have a staff of 1, but many staff members, many volunteers. We had volunteer groups, the printing partner, and my staff, her name is Michelle Burke, and she's the lead. I just sit there and take the beauty. That's it. So she rocks. And so we're excited about this partnership. So any questions about the IPS?
Nice job. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cordelia. Thank you so very much. Just a quick question. You said that there were over 18,000 packages delivered. Packages of what?
Wow. So in the packages, we have brochures, we have e-resource packages, and then 12,000 of them actually had library cards. The other packages, we give the library card number so that the student who already had a library card can still go online. So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And as you see, Brad, he was on there moving all that stuff the other day. So we are excited. They have not been delivered to all the schools. We've taken them to one location and we're trying to prepare, they got 58 locations to put the library cards down. So it's going to take a minute, and we're shooting for about the first week in February or the second week to do the media day. And we'll make sure that everyone is aware and invite all of you to come out with us. So, yeah.
Do you need more volunteers in this regard?
Not yet, but next year. So what people don't understand about this project is that it's not a one and done. Every year we go back, and any new students, we do it all over again. So every year we need volunteers. Yes, ma'am, we do.
Thank you so very much. And making sure that they have e-resources. That's what they're doing. Look at that great shot. Did you pick that great shot?
I wish. No, ma'am. As Jonna said, I'm also the chairperson for the African American History Committee, and 2022 Meet the Artist has arrived upon us. It is normally held in February. However, because of the coronavirus and COVID, we have decided to shift it off until about the 2nd of April. However, this is all about artwork. So this weekend I spent 2 days and we were hanging artwork. We're excited. This group, if you have never seen them, they're called the 18. And this is a group that had the display downtown for Black Lives Matter. So they are our featured artists this year, and they all have artwork. By Wednesday, you should be able to go downtown to Central Library and see all of the artwork. We're still putting some finishing touches, so I don't want you to go just yet, but come out there on Wednesday and we'll open. And this will be open to the public for people to see from January the 26th all the way through the 2nd of April. And of course, thanks to our foundation, the Crystal DeHaan Foundation, we're able to offer these artists. They're all local artists, African-American artists. So, any questions?
That's great.
Just thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cordelia.
Thank you, Cordelia. Thank you so very much. It's exciting.
Yes, awesome.
Okay, our next staff presentation, we have with us virtually Melissa Wooten, who's our area resource manager for adult services, to talk about our COVID partnership. And we also have in person here in LSC, Jenna Maddox, our branch manager of Martindale Brightwood branch, which has been the host of one of our COVID vaccine clinics.
Welcome.
Thanks, John.
We lost you.
Sorry, I just muted myself. Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I thought I would start out by talking about how the partnership began and how it's been going and what our next steps and plans are. And then I apologize. And then Jenna will talk about the experience how it is actually in a branch location. So I met first with a team from Marion County Public Health Department last August, and they approached the library about the partnership to offer vaccination clinics in our locations because they had a few neighborhoods that they were really interested in trying to get the vaccine to, but they didn't have them coming to their sites as much. And so they thought, they'd like to get right into the neighborhood, and they saw the library as a partner because were already in those neighborhoods. So we removed some of the obstacles to access. And also the health department viewed the library as a trusted, just third community place where people would be willing to come in and get the service. So as I said, they had a few neighborhoods. They had about 5 zip codes that they had targeted, they were interested in working with. So we decided to start with just 2 locations, the Martindale Brightwood and the College Avenue branches, and have the Marion County Public Health Department there for about a month with the clinics. And then we were going to reassess and see if we wanted to maybe change locations or possibly expand and add another location. And we started in October of last year, and we've actually just stayed at those same 2 locations. We have not changed and we haven't expanded yet, but it's been going really well. Our communications department has done a great job. They've worked really closely with Marion County Public Health to work on promotion and a press release when we first started. And they put together a really nice blog post on our website. So it lists the hours for both locations and has a lot of information about the vaccine. So that's been really helpful. And as soon as we started in October, we've had lines at both locations. We've had people coming in during the hours to get the vaccination. The health department really wanted to be there as many hours as they could. So they're there every week. They're there Tuesday through Saturday during the day. And so far, I just checked in last week, and since we've started in October, combined from both locations, they have been able to administer over 7,300 shots in arms, as they put it. So we're really excited about that. That's just really fantastic. And definitely reaching the neighborhoods that they had hoped to reach. And Dr. Virginia Kane and her staff, the feedback I received is they're really extremely pleased with the partnership also. It's just been the perfect match they hoped it would be. We are getting into the neighborhoods they hope to reach, and and they feel like it's partly because we're kind of neutral ground at the library. So it's a really great partnership. We hope to continue it. I think I'm in pretty frequent communication with them. So I think we'll touch base another month or so and see if we want to move different locations. It's not too difficult as far as on the library's end, because they just need space for a couple of tables and a few chairs. So it's not hard for us to set up. And our staff is really excited about it. So, they're like, we're willing to host one at our location, just let us know. And I'd also like to say that I think that it's worked really well on the library's end because of our staff at the Martindale Brightwood and the College Avenue locations. They've been really supportive of having these vaccination clinics in their locations. They think it's a real need. And having an outside partner in your location, especially for several months, there are things that will come up. There's questions, issues that crop up that you have to deal with. And the staff there have always been really cheerful about it. They just will call up and say, this is happening, what should we do? Or can you get us an answer about this? So they've been really great. And now Jenna Maddox, who is the branch manager at Martindale Brightwood, is going to talk about the experience, how it's been at her location. And then either of us would be happy to answer some questions when she's all done.
The vaccine clinic started at the Martindale Brightwood branch on October 5th. As Melissa mentioned, we offer it 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday. And I'm not sure if you're very familiar with the layout of our branch, but we have it situated kind of near the entrance towards the left in our senior sitting area. And it's a very convenient location because it's a little more secluded and offers a little more privacy, but it's also very easy to access. It's also near our seating area, so there's plenty of room for people to spread out and socially distance afterwards. The clinic is free and it offers all 3 of the shots, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. And they also offer the first and second shots and the boosters for anyone 12 and over. Reservations are always recommended, but we get a lot of walk-ins and they're always welcome as well. Having the clinic at our branch has been a really great way to bring people into our new building for the first time. Many people haven't visited our new location, so it's been a nice way to reintroduce them to our branch in the community. We've also had a lot of people that stop in for their shot, then come by the circulation desk afterwards and get a library card. So our branch has seen higher door count numbers and also an increase in people getting new library cards. I know that a lot of the patrons have expressed gratitude for having this clinic available nearby where they live. So it's been really great that our library has been able to partner with the Marion County Public Health Department to offer this for the community. Thank you. And does anyone have any questions for us?
I do. Two questions. One, what IDs are needed when you go get it at your location? And if you walk in, are you guaranteed to get one, or they're going to say if we have time, and if we don't, you have to make an appointment?
So good questions. The ID that
Did you guys hear my questions on the board? Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So the ID that's required is just any sort of driver's license or passport, anything that has like your face and your identification information next to it. And sorry, what's the second question?
If you walk in, are you guaranteed to get a shot, or will they say if we have time, you may have to wait an hour, come back in an hour, or something like that?
From what I've seen, they usually try and accommodate the people that have the reservations first for their reserved time. And then they take in walk-ins. And I've only seen them turn away walk-ins a few times, and it's only when they've run out of vaccines, when we've had lines out the door the whole day and they've run out of vaccines.
Thank you.
What other branches are they in? We're in Mondale, Brightwood. What other branches are conducting the screenings?
Right now, it's just Martindale, Brightwood, and College Avenue, but we had at least 3 other branches that we were considering looking. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Melissa, on Saturday, I had an opportunity to stop by the College Avenue branch. I try to stop in at the different branches, and just like you said, that space that is away from the general population was really accessible, and I saw people coming out. This is a wonderful opportunity to support community. It's also a wonderful opportunity to show that the library does do the kinds of things that makes a difference, in addition to making sure we've got great resources. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. I'm glad you got to see it because, yeah, as I said, staff have been really excited and supportive, and Marion County Public Health Department's been really happy about it too.
Good job. Good job to you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Melissa. And our final staff presentation tonight, Deb Lambert is here Deb Lambert, our Director of Collection Management, is here to discuss some of the pieces of legislation that have been introduced at the state level that could potentially impact the public library, both its patrons and its staff. So thank you, Deb.
Good evening, Mr. President and the rest of the board. It's a challenging year this year when we're talking about legislation regarding libraries and censorship, and schools and censorship and defense of librarians. There are several pieces of legislature in the front of the House and the Senate that, go ahead, Mike, if you would go to the next screen, that we're trying to keep an eye on. And the bill that was defeated in the Senate last year was Senate Bill 288, is the one that started this last year. But it's back again in a big way because it's embedded in several other bills and combined with other legislature that addresses how teachers are, they're asking how teachers can be permitted to teach on sensitive subjects such as sex, race, gender, political affiliation, and things like that. So they're kind of embedded in that bill where they're trying to control how teachers are permitted to teach. So there are several bills here, and 2 of them are specifically dealing towards materials harmful to minors for school libraries and a few certain public libraries, those that share their collections with schools, which includes Indianapolis Public Library. And that's their focus of those bills. But if they pass, they might get dropped from the other bills that are, the bigger bills. And we need to address them in a bigger way this year because they're embedded in so many different ways that the sense is that we can't fight them. We have to work with them to find a solution this year. So the first one I want to talk about is Senate Bill 17. This is the one that specifically deals with materials harmful to minors. And right now there's legislation that says that librarians are protected from this class 6 felony that anybody that provides materials to children, pornographic materials to children can be charged with a criminal offense. And there's protection in the Indiana code for librarians, and they're trying to take away that protection with this bill. Because there's disagreement on what is considered harmful to minors. And they're trying to, make that more challenging. The good news is that our ILF, our Indiana Library Federation, is employing Bose, a lobbying company that is doing research and communicating at the hearings, and also communicating directly with the legislators to try and come up with amendments and compromises. And that coming up with a solution to talk about our request for reconsideration process, which is embedded in our library already, would be recognized in the bills as a kind of a compromise. And then the other news is that so far the language talks about criminal lawsuits and not civil lawsuits. And the implication of that is that only county prosecutors can level charges against librarians, and that individuals cannot file suits for individual titles. So we wouldn't be facing a lot of nuisance suits by everybody trying to challenge materials in the library. Of course, Judge, you might have better understanding of all this than I do. But can you go to the next one, Mike? Oh, yep. So another House Bill 1134 is the bigger one with the broad education bill that includes the language that addresses the public library in it. That one actually passed out of the House committee on January 13th and is now to be expected to come down for a vote this week. But there's huge amendments that are being attached to it. And whether that will be successful or not is still, we have to see. And then Senate Bill 167 was a Senate version of that, but it was defeated last week after one of the hearings when one of the senators talked about how teachers must be neutral when talking about isms such as racism and Nazism, and being impartial about teaching those things. And there was national attention that that drew. And so the Senate was defeated that bill and it's going back to reword it. So next one, House Bill 1040 is another one of that broad education bill, but it hasn't been heard in committee yet. Another one is HB 1097, similar to SB 17, not yet heard in committee. So as you can see, there's a lot going through the legislature. The Indiana Library Federation is representing the public libraries and school libraries throughout the state. Earl Mike Williams is president of ILF, and so he's helping push all this through. And there are regular advocacy updates with meetings and newsletters that keep us informed about this. ILF has representation at the actual bill hearings on the floor. They've created action centers to help people write to their senators and use the right language and word it in a way that it matches what we're asking for. And sorry, February 8th is the next advocacy day where libraries can go to talk to their libraries and their patrons and their family members, and students can all go and talk to legislators about this information. The freedom to read statement is one that I passed out here, and also it should be attached to this presentation that was developed by ILF. That is an official statement from libraries throughout the state about the importance of anti-censorship, fighting censorship, and providing access to materials to everyone. So people are asking our patrons, our staff, what they can do. And the first one is the SB 17 is the one that's really targeted towards public libraries. It's still in committee, the Education Committee of the Senate. And they're asking people who live in the districts of the senators in the Education Committee to reach out to them. Once it gets out of committee, then it's open up to everybody to contact them. But there's language that's been proposed to them about both of these bills that we're asking them to consider the language coming from ILF. And then for the bigger bill, HB 1134, yes, Judge?
On House Bill 17, what does the bill say and what's your counter? Because are they gonna make librarians ID people, students? How are we gonna handle that online stuff? Are we gonna require different IDs for like the license, different IDs for minors? And so what is the bill? What is our counter?
Right.
And why do we have a counter if it's gonna hurt us that bad? Other than limiting the damage.
Right. So, in Indiana code is this whole clause about providing materials that's harmful to minors. The proposed legislation is going through now is saying that the librarians are no longer exempt from being pressed with criminal charges for it. Now, the definition of harmful to minors is still, very vague, and the criteria for meeting that, the threshold is very high. So basically, what does obscenity look like? What does, pornography look like? And there are three major points that we should look at. One is looking at the work as a whole. Is it solely addressing the sex prurient need of the person, or is it targeting other, elements of the work? And then is it representing sex acts in a patently harmful way? And then the last one is, does it have no other educational, artistic, or scientific value? So it's got to pass all those, criteria in order for it to be considered obscene or pornographic. When we review requests for reconsideration, when somebody's upset with the material that we have on our shelves, we think about all those things when we review materials. We have a process for when somebody complains about it. We make sure we look at all those things. So the counter is to propose that request for reconsideration be required of every library in the state, school libraries too. And school libraries are not, as I believe, is current with their request for reconsideration processes. Public libraries are on top of it. We're on top of it. We've had it for many years. Does that answer your question? That's a long answer.
No, it does. And is there a reason? Did somebody mess up around the state? Is there a reason why they're coming after you?
It's a couple of targeted groups that are concerned about gender equity and racism being taught in schools right now.
Okay.
It's a big push. There's actually national committees that are pushing these bills in many states across the country.
Thank you.
Mike, would you go back up one? What our patrons and our staff can do was go to the ILF Action Center and write your senator with the language with HB 1134. And then there was one other thing. Oh, consider attending State House Day for libraries to support libraries. And that there's a committee going from ILF, and they'll help you create appointments with your personal, representatives, give you training and give you materials to help you have that conversation with them as well. Okay. Phew. Mike, I miss anything? Does anyone have any questions?
I have a real quick question, if you don't mind. Do you have a list of the sponsors of the different bills, and the Senate bill and as well as the House bill that's being presented? And the second part of my question is, what is the Department of Education stance on that as well?
I don't have them handy, but I can send them to you, the sponsors of all those and the authors of them as well. The second is the Department of Education, I can't answer, but I can tell you that organizations like the Principals Association and ISTA, the Indiana State Teachers Association, are also working together to propose or fight the legislation. And actually, there was a presentation last Tuesday at the State House where there were several organizations that stood up and did a speech about protesting these bills. And Dr. Payne actually put me in touch with them, and I went to one of those sessions to propose it. So there are many organizations that are standing up and joining the fight together to let the legislation know that this is not acceptable the way these bills are written.
Thank you.
Superintendent's organization, thank you, is one of the organizations that is also fighting this. Are there any other questions?
Can you give us a list not only of the co-authors, but also all the senators on the committee?
Absolutely,
because the co-authors,
absolutely. Yes.
you're not gonna change their mind.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
happy to and excited to hear that you're interested in getting those names. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, just want to commend the Library Federation. The Indiana Library Federation is fighting this, and just want to give commendation to them. Schools of education are fighting it too, as we prepare educators to go forth and to teach so that students learn that harm doesn't just happen to some groups of children, but when other groups of children's story is not told, that's harmful as well. And so as we pay attention to diversity, equity, inclusion, these opportunities to go up against those who would not want others to have their stories told is truly a fight that we must enjoy.
Thank you. Any other comments on the board? John?
Nope. Thank you, Deb. That concludes the CEO's report.
Thank you. Thank you, Deb. We'll move on to item 12. This time is made available for discussion. Items not on the agenda which are of interest to the board members, and the opportunity is given to suggest items to be included in future board meetings. I know we've talked about a few things, and feel free to email me anytime, board members. Anybody have any discussions or comments on item 12? Our next board meeting is going to be February 28th. I anticipate that would be in person, but I'm gonna leave the option open that if we're still where we are now, I'm fine with this setting. I think it protects the community, protects our board members, and I'm fine with it. Any comments from the board for the good of the cause? I'm gonna find this meeting adjourned. Thank you, folks. Be safe, everybody.
Thank you. Have a